I want to quickly share with you what actually happened in the last couple of months in the AI industry. So let us start. The biggest problem right now, just to go very briefly over everything, is that things are happening faster already than people can catch up. And even not just general people, also companies. There's a big gap in the market right now where the companies are not fast enough in actually catching up with the current developments. So there are some companies who are very fast to catch up and who are also using AI on the cutting edge level. But then there are also many companies, which is actually the majority of the companies, who have a difficult time to catch up because things are developing too fast for them. So just some quick stats. 88% of sales teams use AI, or at least they say they use AI, but only 24% of AI is actually working in revenue flows. So it's a lot of stuff that's actually not generating any money. Then also 93% of AI spend goes to infrastructure. So IT, server, data, and everything else that comes with it. And only 7% of the actual money spent on AI right now for companies goes into educating their employees and actual integration with people and human beings. So very briefly, these are the couple of biggest things that happened in the last couple of months. Agents that we already heard about in 2025 are real now. In 2025, they were kind of like very new and not very capable. But since the beginning of this year, they have been much more capable and they can actually do work for you now, even if you're not at your laptop. And then also the biggest problems we have now because of those agents is that context is more important than ever. If you want very, very good answers and very good outputs and results from those agents, you really have to make sure that the context you can provide to the agent is as high quality as possible. It needs to be very, very good context, and it also needs to be the right kind of context. That's very, very important. And I also have the same problem. I'm trying to connect as many APIs and as many context bridges as possible to my agent at the moment because I have the same problem. You just get generic answers if you don't provide the right kind of context. Then the capability overhang. I spoke about this before. This is the problem that the capabilities of AI are already more advanced that companies can catch up with. And there's a big gap right now in the market where companies are not using all the capabilities they have right now for AI. And then also return on investment measurement is coming, which is very important because in the last 2 years, there was a lot of experimenting going on with AI also in companies where they couldn't really figure out a way to actually use it to make more money. But now we are at the point, especially with the agents, where we can actually find more ways and more use cases to measure the amount of revenue growth done by AI or due to AI changes. So let us quickly walk through the 6 dimensions of AI maturity. First, there's deployment depth, which is basically saying how many use cases can you find for AI in your company or your business model. Then we have system integrations, which is the depth of layer that you can actually integrate AI in. Is it very front-end heavy or very back-end heavy? And then also, what kind of data actually can you use for AI? What is your data situation like? How many data points can you actually measure? And also, how many data points can you, or data sources can you integrate and connect with your AI system? Then also real outcomes. How can you actually measure the outcomes of the AI? That's what I talked about before, the return on investment measurement. That's very important for companies. And then also people, like the employees. How many people actually do use AI and how well are they trained on using AI, which is also very important. You can use AI in a very stupid way, but you can also use AI in a very, very interesting and intelligent way. So you have to train your employees and also you have to train yourself to use AI in a smarter and more effective way than everybody else. And then also governance, which is fairly important for sure. So many of the technologies are very new, and we are not sure right now what all the risks and implementations will be. So we have to be careful when implementing AI to make sure we implement it in a secure and safe way. Then we can actually scale our company where we are at right now. So we can look at a few different factors and make a decision about where we are at in our own AI deployment. So yeah, just have a quick look on those 5 points. And also just remember on the third one, you are on track if you are actually doing the things that you should be doing. So if you are catching up on the general stuff, if you're catching up on the general stuff and actually using that. Then also we have the adoption mirage. Everybody claims to be using AI all of the time, but the reality looks very different. Many other companies use AI in use cases or in scenarios which not actually very, very beneficial to them. And also they're not very sure on how they can connect and measure it in terms to the revenue. So many of the tasks that AI is doing at the moment are not really contributing to the growth, which will change more and more, especially this year with the new capabilities. But still, companies have a hard time finding the right use cases and actually making the AI integrations profitable by themselves. That's a very important switch that will happen this year, probably. And then also we have the people and data bottleneck. This is very important because we do have a big problem here. Many companies only spend money on the infrastructure, which is fairly important for sure. But in the end, we still have humans using the AI at the moment for most of the time. So if the humans don't know how to use it, the infrastructure and all that you have built before is actually not worth anything. Because if you have the most expensive model for yourself, even for your personal use case, but you don't know how to use it in your daily life or in your business, it actually is worth nothing because you can't execute on the potential that is provided. And the same is true for the data. Many companies also have a big problem with their data. They don't have any data, they don't have data in the right formats, they don't have high quality structured data, which is the most important thing if you actually want to train AI models on your business. And that's something that we will have to face in the next couple of months and also the next couple of years, because all the companies who are not really prepared on their data will have a very hard time to implement AI in a way that's actually effective and actually contributes to revenue growth, because that's what most companies, of course, will do. So the first one is definitely customer service. Customer service is using AI way too much at the moment, if you ask me, but they're definitely trying to implement it as much as possible. Then we have engineering, who's also using it in deployment and systems and also in people, actually building the systems that matter. Then we have IT, which is a bit on like a risky side right now because many of the IT stuff is not really monitored or is very dangerous. And then we have sales, which is kind of using AI, but not in a way that actually contributes to revenue growth. And then also we have operations, which apparently has a lot of old systems integrated in most cases that are not really applicable anymore and kind of outdated. And finance is kind of preparing, but they're still very much behind what kind of use cases they can actually implement AI and how the governance will look. Okay, let us look at the personal use cases you can use AI for your daily life right now. So the first one is AI assistant for email and calendar. You can connect your Gmail, you can connect your calendar with Claude, ChatGPT, or Gemini, and they will manage it for you. That's very, very useful. And if you have actual cron jobs or scheduled tasks set up, you can have an empty inbox every single hour of the day, basically, and make sure you're always ahead on your schedule and your appointments, which is very, very useful if you set it up in a way that's actually helpful to you. Then content creation. We can have prepared scripts. We have prepared analytics. Basically, content creation itself is mostly still done by humans at the moment, but also many, many companies are experiencing with influencers and avatars that will also become only more popular from here on, probably. Then meeting summaries and action items. That's also something most of you already probably use. We have a lot of things happening in terms of actually making sure we don't have to do the boring tasks anymore. And many of the tasks that used to be done by humans, like writing meeting summaries, for example, or meeting notes, is now done by AI. And in the near future, I'm probably, for the near future, I'm also very confident that many of the new use cases we will have will be mostly about the boring tasks we don't want to do anymore. So the creating of a quick presentation, for example, like this one, something where you actually want to summarize or draft something. That's all done by AI pretty much already. And then we have many more tasks that we have to do on a regular basis, for example, that will be automated in the near future. So we don't actually have to do them anymore, which is fairly amazing if you ask me, because then we can actually do tasks and spend our energy on use cases that are more interesting and more useful to us and also the company. Things that are coming right now are, for example, CRM agents that actually can talk to your customers and do outreach for you. What you should do now. 5 steps you can take right now to make sure you implement AI in the best way possible. Do an honest self-assessment. Maybe look at the 5 steps before to scale your company. Then also clean up and connect your data. This is probably the most important part because context is everything right now. If you have good context, your results and your outcomes with AI will most likely be a lot better than most humans. And then also invest in people, not just tools. Like talk to the right people, talk to the right friends, talk to the right creators if possible, ask them about their use cases, ask them, listen to podcasts. It's not all about the tools, it's more about how you can use the tools and what kind of use case you can find for AI. Then also move from assistance to automation. We need to make a lot of decisions right now, and things are developing very quickly. So if you want to profit from this, you need to automate tasks to make sure you have more time and more free energy left for the things that actually require human capital and human energy. Yeah, measure outcomes from day one. This is very important. Just try to connect as much data as possible, but also make sure that you connect the data in terms of the analyzing and the tracking to make sure you know what's happening and actually make sure you know what's working, because you can also spend a lot of time and energy with stuff that's not working or not contributing to your revenue, just wasting a bunch of time and a bunch of tokens. So maybe make sure that you have something to measure it with, so you actually don't have to spend that much time. Yeah. The question is definitely not whether AI will transform your industry. It will most likely do. But the question right now you should at least ask yourself is whether you're ready when it actually happens. And in more and more industries, it's actually happening right now, which is why I'm making this video and why I want to prepare you for what's coming and also for what's already happening. So you can actually stay on top of things and not get lost behind, which is very, very important, I think, in the next couple of years, because there will be so much more things happening in this industry, and you have to be very, very much prepared for the changes. So if you found any information out of this video useful, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, because I will be making more of those videos and my video quality will also only improve from here. I will get better and better as more and more agents will work for me, and I will have more time to actually spend on the content generation part and less time on the admin stuff in the back end. So I think this is a fairly exciting journey. And although there are many risks and many uncertain factors that are still evolving at the moment, we can be very confident and we should be very excited for this, because these trends and these industry and technology shifts will develop so much more use cases and so much more potential automations that will actually save a bunch of energy and a bunch of our time and make it possible for all of us, not only the companies, but also us in our personal lives, to spend our time more meaningfully and spend it with tasks that actually mean something to us and that we actually find very, very helpful. So yeah, thank you for watching the video and see you very soon in the next one. Bye-bye, bye-bye.